Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29, back again for Fool's Gold. And to those who are new to Fool's Gold, here I have something set up to how this system works. So as you can see, I rate the cover, the art, the story, as well as indicate how much I think they're worth. And there's a total for the artist as well as the writer. Now the currency conversion links to how much the comic itself converts to in Australian dollars. So let's get to it. Starting off with the cover. Does this cover give an indication of something that happens within the story? Well, in some part it actually does. So this week the cover is getting a 7 out of 10. How much do I think it's worth? $1.50 Australian. So time to move into the internal art. Starting off with near the beginning first. Okay, this is the art at the beginning. Some quite fair consistency there with Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. Let's move to the middle. As we move to the middle, we can sort of see that the art slips a bit in its consistency, especially around these panels. Especially with this one coming in within the page. It's quite ugly looking, to be honest. It's not the best. It wasn't a bad story, but I'll be getting to the story after I've covered the art. Now to move towards the end. As we move towards the end, this art piece wasn't too bad, and I also enjoyed this little bit. So moving into my rating for the art, as well as how much I think it's worth. A 7 out of 10. And worth at least $1.40, not $1.50 this time. Just because of how some things turned up in a certain panel, and it could have worked better if it was a little bit more consistent within the story. Now the main part, the big part. The story. Does this story cover cast of characters? Yes, it does. Of course, we get to see Perry, Lois, the Kents, which I was really happy about. What about locations? Yes, we got locations. As you could see, one of the locations was also the Daily Planet. Another one within the story was actually the Hall of Justice. It was nice to see that too. As well as the Kent's family farm, which was also good. What about time? Do we get like a time as to when this happened? Sort of like, did this happen 30 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, 2 days before? None of that showed up in the story. But where it didn't show that, it did actually make up for it in comic references, to which I counted at least 2, maybe even 3, to previous comics. And how will I rate this story? Well, I'm going to be a little bit generous in this one. It's still not out of the Fool's Gold yet. So it's going to get a 4 out of 10. Yes, quite generous. And I did actually like the little scene that he did put in there with Robin and John Kent Superboy. How much do I think the story's worth? About 90 cents. It's not high, but there is definitely a bit of improvement within the story. As I still continue to say, you can't bank on Bendis at DC Comics, but I'll tell you where you can bank on Brian Michael Bendis. Go pick up his Jinx World titles. You will enjoy his Jinx World titles. Yes, a lot of it is indie. If you want to enjoy something sort of like more down to earth, pick up his Powers series, to which it deals with a character that it goes for a situation to where they practically got depowered and they choose to become a detective. I enjoyed the story. Give yourself the first 5 volumes to try out. If you don't like those, you might enjoy Brian Michael Bendis' Murder Inc. run. He has the United States versus Murder Inc. He has the United States of Murder Inc. And there's also meant to be Vatican versus Murder Inc., which is meant to be coming out, but no sign of it yet soon. So definitely check out those titles. And we can't forget Brian Michael Bendis' cover, which has art by David Mack. Those you can bank on Bendis with. He's got a whole list of other titles. In fact, I've also reviewed some of them on the channel. You might want to check them out. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this review, this Fool's Gold review. The next one that should be Brian Michael Bendis related is meant to be Legion of Superheroes, the next issue, but it hasn't come out to Australia. I don't know for what reason why. That's in DC's corner. But until it does turn up, we're waiting for it. And the next thing that will be getting some of the Fool's Gold treatment will be some of the stuff in relation to Future State, as to which stories are good, which stories are bad, and which stories are the ugly. So stay tuned for that. Until then, let's keep it colourful. And a big thank you to all my subscribers as you help make this channel possible. You are awesome. As now I'm on the road to 200 subs or 205 subs to get my next goal out of the next Hitman Reborn volumes out for review. Let's keep it colourful. And if you happen to read this particular comic, how did you rate it in your own Fool's Gold?